Imagine being placed in a medieval world filled with mutant creatures and legendary bosses to slay. In this world, there are custom mobs, structures, and items that must be made to survive the monsters that await around every corner. In this 100 days, I have 3 goals. First, I want to kill the 4 mutant beasts. Second, I need to find and stop the 6 legendary monsters. And finally, I want to hunt and kill a level 5 dragon. This is 100 days in medieval RPG Minecraft. I woke up in a forest, alone, and unsure where I was. I noticed a tower in the distance. Inside, I found some food, skeletons, and a chest where I got 2 white ender eyes and a really neat item that gave me an additional 5 hearts. I spent the rest of the day exploring, finding a dungeon tower where I was able to get some armor, a few gold blocks, and wait out the night. It was a calm morning, clouds overhead, the water shimmering, and bam! I'd like to introduce you to the Lemurgia. The most annoying and stupid thing in this whole mod. I hate these.
Oh, what the hell?
This bird fucking sucks. I made a friend and went into an ice temple. The temple was trapped and it blew up before I could loot it. But the worst part was what happened to my new friend. No! What a start. With the rest of my day, I decided to go into a cave. Here's where it gets interesting. I found a chest out in the open, and when I opened it, oh boy, we're set. Full diamond. It was the 3rd day and I just found a chest which had full diamond in it. As far as day 3 is go, can't complain. Running around the cave, I found another chest out in the open, but this one was slightly different.
What the hell?
Not cool.
What are you?
I found an underground illager base, and now seems like a good point to talk about the trust system in this mod. Villagers and guards won't help you unless you kill illagers. Progression in this mod pack is basically linked to murdering hundreds and hundreds of villagers. I cleared out the base and killed my first Ravager. Near the base there was a village I could check out, and little did I know that there was a dungeon that would later become my house. I also almost died from getting shot from this giant black building, and looking back at it now, that's a mutant skeleton. I don't know how I didn't die here. This thing should have chased after me and killed me. Oh, what? I explored a little bit and found an old jail which had some cool items for me. I also found a glove that increased my melee damage, but the real treasure was this brick building here. This had a giant underground dungeon with 3 different tiers of difficulty, and the items here are insane. The entire day I spent going through this and killing mobs, getting so many cool items, rare bullets, diamonds, gold, you name it. I caved up until day 6 when I had 33 levels and decided to go back to do my first enchantments, only to be ambushed by an undead army. If you've ever played Terraria, this is exactly like the Goblin army. The mobs didn't really drop anything cool, but there was a treasure badge at the end and that gave me some cool stuff. Day 7, look at us go, 1 week in. I set up my enchantment table, but tonight I'm facing my first challenge. A mutant zombie found its way into the village, and what's worse, this was a special zombie with the shielding prefix, meaning that arrows just did not work unless I got behind him. I got destroyed. He hit like a truck. I was in full diamond, and if he hit me twice, I was dead. I had to survive. I couldn't beat him right now, so I left. Whew. Okay, after last night's ordeal, I needed to get stronger. As I went to go explore, I found another mutant zombie just outside the village. What the hell? 2 had spawned just outside the village on day 8. What? After running around for a little bit, I saw something in the distance. An icy nest with a large blue wing sticking out. This was an ice dragon. I charged it, hoping I could get a sneak attack and have the upper hand. I expected to have a huge battle. However, the dragon died in like 3 hits. I literally just charged it and it fell over. It literally just had a heart attack, and you know what? Doesn't matter. Thank you for the scales. I decided to head in another direction, one that was a little less snowy in the hopes that I wouldn't find any more dragons. But no, there was just another one right there. At least this one actually put up a fight though. Like, it actually did some damage and scared me a little bit. But soon enough, we killed it. I went home and I made myself an iced dragon sword. This is a really strong weapon, as you're gonna see. Until I could enchant it properly, I decided it would be best if I just left it alone. I also made full dragon armor, but again, I didn't want to use it until I had enchanted it, so I just left it in the chest. Day 9. I went back to the bread dungeon I found a couple days ago, ready to take on the final floor. Mobs in here could literally 3-shot me, and most of them spawned with at least half diamond. I need to be extremely careful because anything in here could kill me. I fought my way through mobs, almost dying a couple of times, but eventually I found the central room. Oh my god. Diamonds, notch apples, 20 blots of gold. This was the dream. I finished the rest of the dungeon, got my levels, and headed home. I had some levels now and decided to enchant my dragon armor. As I said, the enchants were not very good and most of my gear ended up getting only 1 or 2 enchants.
Come on, man.
Regardless, I was now much stronger as dragon armor is way beyond diamond. From days 11 to 14, I did lots of adventuring. I decided to go and explore this giant floating tower thing that I had found days prior. As soon as I got into the tower, I got ambushed by a group of illagers and evokers. I also got a totem of undying, which was a really nice safety net this early on. I also got this weird looking enchant table that later on I would realize is a soul enchanter. And spoilers, this is the most broken item in the entire mod pack. Have you ever heard of Circe? You know, the chick in Greek mythology that turned people into pigs? Yeah, she was here. Stabbed her, took her stuff, life's good. Side note, watch me get completely clowned on by her guards. I don't know what it was, I just could not hit these guys. They had the largest shields I have ever seen. I found my new favorite biome. This place was magical.
It's so pretty.
I found a cherry blossom biome. What's so cool about a cherry blossom biome? Look at the trees. Look how pretty that is. It's like I'm living in an anime. Let's go. So, do you guys like ASMR? Are you a fan of having creepy words whispered in your ear? Boy, oh boy, do I have the Enderman for you. In the day, I continued to explore and I found a Hydra. Basically, a big snake boy that spits poison, and whenever you try to kill it, it just grows more heads and spits more poison. It's a really awful cycle, to be honest. I tried, but eventually I had to give up and just run. This thing was not really doing much damage, but my armor durability, whew. However, that night I defeated my first boss, the Mutant Skeleton. This thing can see you from a mile away. It's quick, it hurts, and it is very tanky.
Ow.
Luckily, with my Ice Dragon sword, I could freeze him and I was able to kill him. One down, like 10 to go. The next few days were just spent on the house, making it look a little bit nicer. I figured if I was gonna live here, it should at least be nice, right? I have 100 days. I finished up on day 19 and I was so proud. I'm not a builder, okay? Be nice to me.
Stop breaking my house.
Day 20. Okay, time is moving quickly. Let's go back to exploring. I don't know what happened. I was really cool with the moose until today.
Are you? Moose, what the hell? We've been cool for so many days, bro.
All the meese in the world had a meeting overnight and just decided, you know what, nah, screw this guy, and just went for me. I don't know what happened. I found an orca, some penguins, and my next challenge.
Okay.
Frostmourne, a giant, dangerous Yeti type monster that was sleeping in a snowy field. This was my time to fight it.
I feel like I've messed up.
Frostmourne roars and the fight starts.
Meese. Oh. Okay.
Once again, my Ice Dragon sword is just the MVP. It let me freeze the Yeti and attack him before he was able to attack me.
Oh, this isn't so bad.
Because he's slowed, it basically means I can just circle strafe around him and hit him while he's charging up his attack. After a little bit of strafing around him, hitting him over and over and over again, he finally dies and I take his crystal. The next couple days I just spend exploring, I find an ice temple and I can actually loot it this time. Go me. However, during this time, I find one more mutant zombie.
Oh.
And because my sword slows, I can do the exact same thing I did to Frostmore. Slowing, stunning, stabbing. I knocked him down 3 times and eventually he dies.
Stop.
2 mutants
Bad.
down, 2 to go.
Let's go. Okay.
I saw a tower in the distance and after killing some of the mobs, I realized that they were equipped with tier 5 armor.
Holy hell.
They had protection 5.
Oh.
What? I took a couple of them, not sure if I was able to do anything with it. And then shortly after I found a bed and why does everything hate me?
Oh my god. What the? Get away from me, bro.
I found another illager base near a village by the ocean. I decided to be a good guy and help them out. This base was way cooler than the one at my village. It had libraries, brewing rooms, and even an evoker that dropped me another totem. I wanted to head far north and try to find an ocean biome so I could find some sea serpents. On the way I found another stupid bird that glitched me up and dealt 10 hearts of full damage. How can you light these things? How is that fair?
What was that?
God, I hate these things. I was boating across the ocean and got stuck in a siren's trap and a whirlpool at the same... like this what? Why is this game just broken, man? I finally got out of the whirlpool, got onto a boat, almost died. But like I said, pretty chill day. I found an island in the middle of the ocean which had some villages on it, and I ended up trading with one from Monument Map. Also on that island, I ended up finding a mini boss, the Cyclops. It'll run towards you and pick you up, and I'm pretty sure it one-shots you if you let it, but you can shoot it in the eye and sort of have like a stealth approach to it. Pretty cool. I walked around the island a little bit and found my best friend I would ever make, a Hippocampus. This is basically just a seahorse, but not those weird little dragon things. I mean like actually a water horse. You can tame it by feeding it kelp, and this thing moves so quick. It's also just adorable on land. Look at it hop around. That is so cute. I called him Rainbow after the one in Percy Jackson, but because you know, Percy Jackson is life, man. I love those. I wanted to get Rainbow back home, but I also wanted to find a sea serpent. Both of those things happened. Okay, that was a little bit terrifying. I think I might not be ready for sea serpents yet. I found a couple sirens, got their shiny scales, and decided to get Rainbow back home. I used the teleporter at a village I had found and ended up getting stuck in place at my base. When I relogged, Rainbow was there safe and sound and all was good. I don't know what that was. As soon as I got back home, I went to a dungeon, got a name tag, named it Rainbow, and gave it to my Hippocampus. I didn't know, but actually naming him Rainbow made him change colors.
No way. That's a thing?
That is unbelievable. I am so happy that happened. I spent the next couple days working on a home for Rainbow. I ended up making like a nice little water temple room based off the one from Legend of Zelda. I know this was nothing like the one from Legend of Zelda, leave me alone, okay? It's what I had in my head. And I redid the interior of my house a little bit, but I was going to work more on it in the future. After this, I went exploring, just trying to get levels for better enchants, and I ended up finding another ice dragon. I got enough scales to make another set of armor because mine was looking broken. I caved up until day 35 and I had 40 levels and felt like that was good enough for now. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I found the coolest item yet. I could craft a golden apple sapling with some gold, blots, saplings, and golden apples and get a tree that dropped regular and enchanted golden apples. This was insane. This was so helpful. Only farmed for a little bit though, as there was other things I wanted to get done, but this is amazing. I needed to head underground and find a structure that had some items for the mod Eidolon. I finally figured out what the soul enchanter was for. This scene was about to push me into the stratosphere. I was going to get broken very quickly. Here's how the soul enchanter works. I can get these little soul shards from undead mobs by placing the brazier down with a piece of bone meal in it and then having the 2 stone hands on either side holding redstone. I activate the brazier, it then kills anything in a very small radius that is undead and in place drops me soul shards. I then use these shards to put an upgrade onto my weapon, but I can keep adding the upgrades over time, so eventually I get a weapon with every enchant. Enchantment tables were officially useless. It took me a couple days of figuring out how it worked, the best way to do it, and farming shards, but eventually I had enough to start. And I also discovered how I could strip the Protection 5 chest plates we found onto a book. No way. So good news, I had 2 Protection 5 books. Bad news, they cost 35 levels each. While caving, I ended up killing this really weird mob that dropped an ender pearl sword. I didn't pay much attention at the time, but this was going to be my new favorite item. I could right click and infinitely teleport. Let's do this. I built my portal. I had no clue what the nether was going to be like, but I assumed it was going to have some very powerful monsters. Also, this black ore here, holy hell, look at my levels. It gives me like 1 whole level per block mined. I also saw that there were some pit bosses spawning, but I had no clue what these looked like or where they were, so I just sort of ignored it for now, but I will find heaps of these very soon. I quickly discovered that I could not regen health in the nether. The only way was with golden apples. Luckily from farming the golden apple trees, I did have some, but my main worry was if it was going to be enough. While running around, I found these weird floating gold blocks, and after purling into one, I realized that this was probably the pit boss. See, it came with this resource pack that I just didn't have on, so it looked really weird, but yeah, this was the boss here. It died pretty easily, thanks to my ice sword. Once again, ice sword MVP, it's insane.
Oh, that wasn't so bad.
I also got enough levels for my Prop 5 book, however, the one I put on my pants just did nothing. I still don't know what happened. Eventually I found this dark biome where only pigmen and pit bosses would spawn, and I stayed here for about a day farming the pit bosses for a rare potion they dropped.
Yo.
The potion gave me speed 3, strength 3 and resistance 3 for 20 seconds, and that seems pretty overpowered if you ask me. Soon though, I was running low on durability and golden apples and decided it was time to go. I was in the nether for a total of 5 days exploring. It felt like that was good enough for now. Whew. Stressful. Day 45, I made it back into the overworld, but I was thousands of blocks away from home. I saw a desert and decided that because I hadn't been in one yet, I would have a little run around. Somehow I was able to start a raid, and apparently there was this like underground village that I had no clue was there, and when I ran over it with bad omen, I just started the raid. Okay, not really what I wanted right now, but sure, I'll give it a go. I tried, but I almost died, and I did not want to risk that. I ran away, I found a waystone, and I made it home. I repaired my tools, I got some more golden apples, I sorted my chest, you know, the usual stuff. I had also recently unlocked the ghost trinket, and when I combined this with the scarf I got on the first day, I became completely invisible. Nothing could see me. Okay, time for our next challenge. I wanted to upgrade my weapon to a phantasmal blade. Super strong, super fast attacking. The only issue is, for the rare ingot I need to upgrade my sword to the phantasmal blade, it is a 2% drop from graveyard ghosts. So I have no choice but to farm. While I was waiting for some ghosts to spawn, I found a mimic and it dropped me night vision goggles. Hey, look at that, you guys can see now. I'm so sorry. This is also an interesting part. I found a mutant zombie, and because I was invisible, I decided to do some experiments. I performed my ritual, and it turns out I can just one-shot him.
Sorry, don't get mad. It's okay. Stay there. That's it. Stay right there. Go into the light.
I was exploring a nearby savannah when I found the Call of Barako, another legend that I must kill in these 100 days. I found a couple of his minions, and after killing them, I realized that Barako must have left. So I would have to give up on this for now and challenge him another day. I farmed some more ghosts, but no luck sadly. This continued for days, with my only real priority being to get this drop. Nothing too major happened during this time, besides from me killing a few bosses. Firstly, I finally killed a Hydra. It had to die on fire, otherwise it would just keep growing back heads. That night, I found a very, very rare mutant beast, the Enderman. This guy was massive, 4 arms, picking up blots, just all around a bad time. He would teleport around, give you blindness, and send clones of him in to fight you. Lucky for me though, I was starting to get stupid strong. A short, quick curl to his side and a swipe, and he exploded. The fight was over.
Let's go.
There's only one mutant left, and that night, I found it.
Yo.
The mutant creeper.
Two in one night?
I saw it ages away. I gapped up, I pearled into it, and it died instantly. This wasn't even a challenge.
Wait.
One crit did like 40 hearts to him. I don't know what happened.
I just one-shot it.
A few days later, I found this giant castle which had the Ferris Routnaut in it. A giant iron juggernaut that could only have damage dealt to it in a very small spot in its back.
Hello? Okay. Oh.
After a super long drawn out fight with the Routnaut, I finally got the hit I needed in his back. And he just evaporated.
I just one-shot him? What?
He is not meant to die this quick. I don't know what happened. During this time, I also made myself a dragon bone bow. I enchanted it with all the levels I got from farming my 100 ghosts at this point, and this thing was a monster. Day 56. It has officially been a week since I started farming for this drop. At this point, I have killed hundreds of ghosts. I even found these 2 rare Easter egg ghosts. I was getting so unlucky. Finally, on one of the last ghost spawns of the night, on day 57, I got it.
Yes. Finally, man.
I made my dragon bone sword, and then it was time to make it a phantasmal blade. Day 58 to day 60, I was just enchanting the sword performing rituals. This sword is extremely fast and it does a lot of damage. If you've ever played Terraria, it's a lot like the Terror Blade. I was using the Undead Army events to perform my rituals. These only spawn zombies and skeletons, so it was super easy to get my soul shards. I finally finished enchanting the sword and I found a nearby Hydra den, and it died so quickly. This sword is insane. Here's where I make a big mistake. I was showing my girlfriend what gear I had and showing off my sword. I jumped down into a dungeon where all these really powerful illagers were. I reacted a little bit slow because one of them was shredding me. I tried to get away, but I died before I could. Lucky I had my totem, so it wasn't the end of the world, but yeah, there's a death. I found one of the biggest dungeons I've ever seen. This thing was 150 blocks tall. There were like 8 to 10 rooms each floor, heaps of mobs, heaps of items. But I found a room where these silverfish were spawning. And before I knew it, things got completely out of hand. Next thing I know, I am falling through the floor, silverfish everywhere. I was here for 40 minutes because my frame rate completely died. I'm sorry if this ruins the video for you, but I had to slash kill them here. My computer was running at literally 1 frame every couple of minutes. Turns out, 6,000 silverfish were in this small room with me. Who the f thought that was a good idea? Eventually I made my way up the tower, reaching the top and finding a heap of chests, diamonds, emeralds, gapples. It was not too useful at this point in the game, but it's still nice to have. Day 63, I finally found my savannah. Baracco, it was time. I ran at him, trying to take down his minions first, however they just kept coming.
Whoa.
He didn't do much damage to me, but look at my armor durability. He is
Ow.
melting it.
You broke my boots.
I had no choice but to rush him.
Ow. Two more.
My boots had broken and the rest of my armor was not looking good. It was really time to upgrade it now. Oh boy, it's time to boat. Honestly, the ocean in this is horrifying. There are so many things lurking down there and I don't want to deal with it, but I need these sea serpents.
Let's go. Ooh, it's a gold one. I one-shot it? What?
I briefly stopped along the way to bully a cyclops and I saw it. The next boss, Medusa. She is actually really scary because if you look at her without a blindfold on, you instantly die. I slowly walked around her dungeon, listening, checking. I couldn't tell where I was. I couldn't tell where she was. Finally, under the stairwell, hiding away, I saw her.
Oh, that was scary, man.
I was able to get the first hit and she died before she could really do anything to me. 5 legends down. We only have 1 left. The next boss is a flying dragon-like thing called the Naga. It only spawns where mountain biomes meet the ocean, and so it's going to take a long time to find this. I went home and it was time to make my final armor upgrade. Tide Guardian armor is insane because it gives you strength 4 in the water. Don't need to worry about my health if everything just dies instantly, right? I hung my old dragon armor up in my bedroom and that was that. We're on the final stretch now. 1 more legend to kill. I knew that finding the Naga was going to take a very long time, so I decided to head east as I haven't really been that way yet. Along the way I found another Hydra, just vibing. I snuck up, I stabbed it. It died pretty quick, but the best thing is it finally gave me the Hydra heart. This is a legendary item that gives me regeneration based on how many hearts I've lost. But now, it's time to explore. I think Rainbow's getting pretty lonely back at home, huh? Let me introduce you to another friend of mine. This is Peanut Butter. I think it's called an amphitheater, although now that I say it, I'm pretty sure that was like the ancient Greek theater. Maybe not. Just big bird, okay? I don't know why I waited 72 days to get a flying mount. This would have been so much quicker, but it's done now. Stop yelling at me. While traveling around looking for the Naga, we found so many cool biomes, so many cool dungeons, and even a village that was under attack. I landed to try to help them, but when we were there, one of the stupid guards picked a fight with Peanut Butter. And before I could get to him, he was killed. It wasn't enough that I just killed this guard. I put an evoker down and just let him terrorize the whole village. Screw them, I hope the village burns down. I left the village, going back to the jungle to find myself another Peanut Butter. While looking, I pearled randomly and I found this giant nest of these weird buds and it still gives me the heebie-jeebies just looking at them. I hate them. I found another big bird, tamed him, and decided to name this one Jelly. 5 days later and 10,000 blocks of travel, I finally found an area where it was mountains meeting the ocean. Jelly tried to run off on me and leave me stranded, but I promise it was all a training exercise. I caught him. Half a day later, I finally found a Naga. 2 Nagas, but they both immediately flew off and paid me no attention. Sick. That night I found another one and began the fight. I'm telling you, man, me and Jelly were a team and a half. He bit the Naga above me, I shot it from below.
Oh my god.
We had a really close call with a charged creeper, but the Naga died, taking off the last of the legends.
There we go. Let's go. Good work. You killed it. Oh, let's get out of here. Let's go.
I went back home and decided to build Jelly a nice little house on my balcony. He made it super difficult because he kept breaking all the blocks and he's a giant bird.
Please stop. Cool. What are you? Oh my god. My house is haunted. Stop it.
But eventually, I got it all worked out. We've killed the mutants, we've killed the legends, now we have one last goal, a tier 5 dragon. Okay, before I go on my giant journey, I'm going to do some last minute preparations. There's a charm I can make that gives me permanent resistance to, and decided that would be pretty helpful to have. This took me about 3 days of getting the ingredients and exploring. I forgot to mention, while I was building Rainbow's home like 40 days ago,
That's a little bit cursed.
I found a wandering villager, and he actually sold me 3 wither heads. So to gauge how strong we actually are right now, let's have a little fight, hey? And my frames dropped to 0 because of all the explosions.
Ah!
Once my computer had recovered, I began the fight with the wither.
Oh my god, my bow shreds him.
He died so quick. We shredded
Jesus.
through him. Something also popped up in chat saying impending doom, and I really thought the Moon Lord was going to show up and whoop my ass.
Impending doom, huh?
But apparently that just means that the game has been put into master mode difficulty. Just extra hard. No worries, we're fine. I also fought this really rare Enderman that dropped me full netherite armor.
Stop chasing the bird.
Like what? It's not better than what I have, but still cool.
Ah.
I crafted myself some dragon eyes, which will hopefully point me in the direction of a tier 5 dragon nest. But then it was just up to me running around for ages. So I went for a nice stroll. I traveled thousands and thousands and thousands of blocks.
Please don't tell me that counted as the dragon.
And after 10 whole days of running, I finally found a cave which had a dragon nest.
This is it. Oh, you're a big boy.
This thing is massive. It is a giant hole with gold, chests, and a big sleeping dragon
Oh, I
in it.
just gravity pulsed it. How did that happen?
To start the fight, I was shooting the dragon, hoping to chip away at his health. I had my rage potion on, so I had tier 3 potion effects, and I just started stabbing, man.
Come here.
It was dragging me around, clawing at me, and I could not tell if I was doing anything to this guy. It lunged for me, and one more stab, and it fell.
Wait, that was it? It's already dead?
The tier 5 dragon is dead. Our final goal completed. I got over 100 scales from this bad boy and my very own level 5 dragon skull. I arrive home at the dawn of day 99.
Stop it.
Today was a day of celebration. We had done everything. I spent time admiring my base, spending time with my animals, and oh dear God, the village. Yeah, they're dead. They're long dead. Day 100. I returned home again. Let's just forget about that mass genocide, yeah? Sweep it under the rug. And I enjoyed my last day with Jelly and Rainbow. Jelly almost died after picking a fight with a bunch of zombies and skeletons.
What are you doing?
And imagine that. The final day, he just walks around the village and dies. No, I had done it. 100 days of fantasy medieval Minecraft. Something still felt unfinished though, like there was an entire dimension that I hadn't even touched yet. More dungeons, more bosses, more challenges. It just felt like something was calling my name. I guess that's a story for another time.